People who understand Chinese/Japanese, what's the dumbest thing you've seen tattooed on someone? Dude was so proud of his grandson that he had a tattoo that said I love my grandson, except I'm guessing everyone just googled I love my grandson because it came out reading I love fat boys. Whoops. Maybe he actually did love fat boys, but the grandson was just a cover. Whenever I watch shows in Cantonese, people often call kids or babies fat. My BF said it's like cute talk/endearment. Maybe that's where the confusion came in, haha. The 4 elements tattoo with dirt, hot, blow, wet was pretty funny. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony, then everything changed when the hot nation attacked. I have the characters for shrimp dumpling, Hagao, tattooed on me. I knowingly did this, because I'm half Chinese and fucking love shrimp dumplings. I had a Chinese girl ask me if I knew what it meant and I laughed and said of course, I love dumplings. My Chinese mother was not impressed but then laughed and said it was very me. I love dumplings. Every time I visit China my workers there ask why I want to eat cheap-ass dumplings. Because they are delicious. And I don't need to spit out bones to eat them. I don't know if this was stupid or brilliant, but someone had. Which is respectfully asking if they had soup dumplings. I thought it was really stupid until someone said that they must really like soup dumplings. The idea of ordering food in a foreign country by showing a tattoo like this is so chaotic, I love it. This is why I've thought about getting a request for hot dogs written on me in different languages. But I don't trust anyone to translate that into something that doesn't end with foreign penises happening everywhere I go. Once when I was in university, working at a shop, a very fat lady came in with the kanji for large tattooed on her shoulder blade. I politely complimented her tattoo and asked what it meant. She said it meant sassy. I almost can't believe there would be a Japanese equivalent of sassy. I'm feeling fat and sassy. Japanese speaker here. Guy had one that reads someone told him that ton means pig and katsu means to win. He thought that putting them together means to win against pigs. Police? Tonkatsu means pork cutlet. I didn't have the heart to tell him. Not my story, but a friend of mine. She could read kanji and was in class one day noticing this girl's tattoo for the first time. Confused, she inquired about it. What does your tattoo say? Hi princess. Turns out it actually said pig princess. I would be disturbed even if it said hi princess. The amount of ego necessary to get that permanently stamped on your skin. Lol, Butahime. So instead of the character for hi, Taka, they had Buta? Like, they're completely different. Besides the fact that there is no word/phrase for hi princess except if you just want to say wiener, which is simply just extra formal version of princess. Word of warning, I guess, don't take tattoo artists' word for anything when it comes to kanji tattoos. Seen a few over the years, but one that I remember most was when I first started learning Mandarin. The guy had a tattoo on the back of his leg that proudly said which means beef. Oh, he was going for calf. That one might be an honest mistake. Beefcake. Beefcake. It always cracks me up to see people with single characters tattooed on themselves, especially characters for the natural elements. I imagine the same tattoo except it says dirt in plain English, and it makes me laugh. I love me some good. I feel I could actually rock a tattoo of the word dirt in a Courier font and sell it as a secular humanist/atheist piece about the body it's tattooed on being nothing more than the basic elements of earth, and eventually it will be reincorporated. I noticed some random white guy with some interesting tattoos. I think it was in an amusement park, and then got a little excited to see Korean tattoos, which you rarely ever see. They were written vertically on each of his calves. One said left leg, the other said right leg. Dumb and pretty cool. Were they on the correct legs? While stationed in Japan, a friend got a tattoo by some random guy outside of base. He wanted some Shinto quote for a prosperous life, but instead got the kanji reading something like fat fish eat long. The Japanese workers just called him fat fish for the next 3 years. It caught on live fire, even random people from other commands knew his nickname. I like the idea that this random guy just waits outside military bases to give Americans tattoos of random phrases telling them it's something cool. Big tuna. I met a girl when I was backpacking in China who knowingly had the characters for prostitute tattooed on her hip. She thought it was funny, and the only people who saw it would be ones she chose to show it to. The Chinese guy who was drinking with us in the hostel was horrified, and suggested that she get another tattoo underneath which said "only joking." And a third one, or am I? Chinese speaker here. What was the specific word used? Chinese has several characters that can mean prostitute, but sometimes those characters don't always mean prostitute. I saw someone with the characters for big and father and figured it was like an approximation of Big Daddy. The guy got really agitated with me and told me it was Chinese for eternal wealth. Okay. A really poor translation would be which sounds similar to Encanto and arguably Mando, which could mean to bring wealth, but yeah, it's really far-fetched. Ha ha ha, this one made me laugh out loud. Wonderful. Took Mandarin in high school. My teacher told us about a woman who had a tattoo of the word, probably thinking it meant free as in free-spirited, but it actually means free as in no cost. Saw almost the same thing happen once. Girl had what she thought was free spirit on her arm. Another girl who spoke Cantonese told her it actually said free spare ribs. Turns out she went to her local Chinese takeaway and asked them to write down free spirit and they'd misheard her. She was horrified when she found out what it actually meant. Gratis versus Libre. My uncle has egg drop soup tattooed on his wrist in Mandarin. He tells everyone it means something different, strength, destiny, etc., but he got it so that he can go to the Chinese place when he is super hungover. He wears shades and noise-cancelling headphones, points to his wrist and is able to stay in his happy place while getting his favorite hangover meal. And yes, he was hungover when he got the tattoo. At least he has some utility to his. I kinda like it. Guy had on his arm, said it meant lover of Asian beauty when in fact it means foreign pervert. Ha 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 ha. They stuck with the theme and everything. Love it. Yep. That first kanji is what really makes it pervert. Besides the fact that having the last two kanji for foreigner don't really meld into anything relating to Asian beauty unless the person reading it understands the context. That dude was basically branded by that tattoo artist as a pervert after explaining his weird sex art story. I speak Mandarin, and it works both ways. Here's one in reverse. On the beach in Taiwan I saw a huge, and I mean huge, ripped Taiwanese guy walking on the beach in Hualien with his girlfriend. On his back in black Gothic letters, flanked by swords, was the phrase, "Slut Dude." Told him it was an interesting choice in tattoo, store behind it. Turned out he thought he was getting a tattoo that said swordsman. When he found out what it actually said, well, wouldn't want to be that artist. Yes. My math teacher in high school was confronted with a Japanese gang, all with matching leather jackets. The jackets had an English phrase, clearly meant as badass motherfuckers. It read, "Savage fellows." Oh god. That one's great, ha ha ha. Colleague of mine wanted his name, Nick, tattooed on his arm in Chinese characters. Spoiler, shit don't work that way. To the credit of the artist, the stuff on his arm is pronounced Nigu. It translates to none. Why would you get a tattoo of your own first name on your arm unless you're the memento guy is beyond me. What's up my Nigu? A lot of women have written on them. For some reason they think having the word woman written in Japanese adds some sort of mystical feminine power to it when in reality people most often associate it with a bathroom door. Imagine seeing Japanese women walking around with woman tattooed on themselves. On top of that, the kanji is often written rather sloppily, like something a 5-year-old would write, rather than elegant script. Imagine an Asian woman going like, yes, I got the universal symbol of femininity and womanhood tattooed on me, and then it's the toilet door figure in a dress. Yo mate, what is that, 's a woman? You can tell cause she's got woman tattooed on her, oh right. I knew a guy who thought he had warrior tattooed on his arm, but another friend informed me actually read drunk asshole. He was an asshole, and often drunk, so I chose to believe this. Not the circumstances in THR question, but still similar. My mom used to work as an ophthalmic tech. The doctors gave the techs free rein when it came to scrubs, so my mom and her friends always had really fun scrubs and clogs. One set had some Chinese characters all over them. After work one day, her and her work friends all got dinner, and while they were waiting to be seated, a Chinese family came in and was behind them. The father got a kick out of the scrubs because they were just a random mix of words. My mom said he was pointing them out to her like this one means shoes and so on. Her friends were dying laughing, and while my mom thought it was super funny too, she stopped wearing those scrubs. That's pretty wholesome. At least they were neutral words. Imagine the horror. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.